So we now continue with the next part, and as declared in the previous part that the discussion on continuous time systems we will do later, because I personally feel that discussing discrete time systems is very easy, and because it gives us a simple way of array processing of sequences rather than processing of functions. So you might be studying or might have studied sampling theorem in the communication systems, but it is very easy to note down that if instead of considering the value of any variable at every time instant, if I skip some values and I only focus the some samples, and if my sampling is at sufficient speed, then it is possible to analyze entire system without any problem. So in general what we do is input is some. Now in previous discussion we had assumed it to be two-dimensional, so we can say that in general input is two-dimensional, but if really it is not, say voltage signal, position voltage signal is one-dimensional, length or height, temperature one-dimensional, so in that case other dimension is zero, only real part may exist. So in general a signal is mapping of one variable with time, and that variable is two-dimensional, say position on the screen on the whiteboard of the point. So that is a continuous two-dimensional signal. Its samples at, if you take, so what is a two-dimensional discrete signal? That somebody is, there are two students, one is in the, now since it is what we can say recorded session, that scope is not there, but in the live session one is putting the laser point and other is just taking the snapshots. Is the idea clear? One student, the teacher is there doing something, maybe nonsense. The student, one student is just putting the, moving the laser beam. The laser beam will move like this, and other student is taking snapshots at every second. So at every second there will be some position. So this position, first photo will show it this position, in the second photo you will get this, in the third photo you will get this, in the fourth photo you will get this. So these are, the photographs are the sampled signals. Photographs are the sampled signals in two dimension. So two dimensional we consider as a broad case, but in general we can say that input signal, output signal, both are continuous functions of time, xt and yt. So each we sample at sampling interval delta t sufficiently small, means we sample at sufficient rate, we sample at fast rate, we sample rapidly, so that the sampling theorem states that in under some conditions there are no errors. But we need not be so much perfect also, that is not needed. Sometimes for securing unnecessary perfection we may lose many details, we may lose on many other parts. So what I say is input xt and output yt, or in general any signal is continuous signal, we sufficiently sample it at the maximum possible rate. Now the earlier, maybe say 5 to 10 years back, to get a good quality camera in the mobile phone was much costlier. Now what has happened, that the resolution of the mobile cameras is so nice that, means say 10 years back a poor quality resolution camera and a good quality resolution camera, when you watch them the difference was noticeable. But now with megapixel, now it maybe gigapixel also. So say 1 megapixel, 2 megapixel, noticeable difference. but if you say 50 and 100 megapixel maybe in future, in that case there is difference, but it is your eyes may not be able to view that much resolution. So it's too good. What I mean to say is it's too good. Similarly, whether because of sampling there will be some impact on the accuracy of the contents was the discussion issue in 1970s and 80s, when sampling was not at sufficient rate. And also, as I again stated, that XT actually exists. XN is an abstraction. Samples don't exist on their own as discrete variables. When we treat discrete variables are only in our calculations on the formula, whereas actually when we implement, we quantize them, we digitize them using ADC, but that is also so good resolution ADC that quantization error is negligible. The error because of poor sampling is also negligible. So in that case, whether we are losing something in this process is just not to be considered. So XT and XN, XT and YT give me XN and YN, where N is equal to that is the sampling interval is found out such that the formula is T is equal to N delta T. N delta T. So how means in the first discussion we have taken the example of water level tank, or you can take example of voltage and voltmeter, or you can take an example of again our famous example of this one. This is the most important one, RC. VT, VOT, 1 and 1. So whatever system you may take, the system consists of one input signal. That input signal, say for this, input is voltage, output is voltage. For that water level, input was level, output was level. For moving coil voltmeter, input was voltage, output was position or angle. Input was voltage, output was angle. So there is some input variable, there is some output variable. Both may be having same units, both may be having different units. But there are input signals and output signals, XT and YT. And this is what comes in between is the system. What comes in between is the system. So XT and YT, and what comes here is the system which interrelates XT and YT in some predetermined manner. Now this interrelation is not so easy to understand. Therefore, instead of doing that, what we do is, if you go to the syllabus, there are very classic things of linear, time width, everything. What I believe is, instead of just giving you definitions, and that becomes too much boring, I will explain to you its working, and then you may read it. Let it be very clear that in the vacation itself I have given you the YouTube video links of Professor Gadre's lectures, part 1. Nobody demanded part 2, maybe you are still viewing part 1 videos. Those are small videos again. Those you can view at any time. So there is no need, see now, let us be very clear in the role of actual teacher. Maybe 30 years back, where video recording was not so easily either available, even recording quality of recording was not so good, its distribution was not so easy. That time Professor Gadre teaching at IITB and some teacher teaching here, both were required to teach same thing. Means the teacher here could not rely on Professor Gadre's lectures, and therefore, irrespective of his sessions going there, he has to teach completely on his own. Whereas today, when Professor Gadre's very classic lectures are available, then you will say, what is my role? If Professor Gadre's course is given to you, my role is over. There is no point in reinventing the wheel. If I used to tell same thing which is otherwise available to you, I am redundant. Therefore, what I suggest is that you have viewed that course, you can view again, and then there are missing links. The missing links, Professor Gadre lectures are very classical, that there cannot be any match for that. But there may be a situation that I am unable to comprehend. Therefore, you watch them first, try to understand what are the gaps, and try to look at my lectures as filling those gaps. So that I am doing. So what I do is this to this, the relation between xt and yt I cannot establish. So what I do, from xt I convert to xn. Convert means what? I simply measure. See, system is there. When I connect voltage, output will be there. When I connect voltage to voltmeter, reading will be there. So I can measure both variables, input and output. I can sample them using sampler and analog to digital converter. Means it is possible to take samples and convert them to digital. It's voltage, it is very easy. If it is position, then you need to have photographs. So from xt and yt, you can sample them and create a trail of input samples and output samples. So, try to listen very carefully. Just like this, V in T, VOT. So you measure V in T, VOT, you convert it to V in N, VON, and then try to find out what is there, what is this, such that Yn, for given Yn, you get this, for given Xn, you get this one. If you change Xn, so now what kind of relationship, this question mark, what is a system, is to be found out by us, and then based on Xn, from Xn you can, when you model the system, from Xn you can go easily to Xt just by sample, keeping same value for some time, by using digital to analog converter. By giving Xn, what you do, Xn you implement in computer, then when you implement in computer, you generate the numbers, you convert them into analog thing by using digital to analog converter, so that converting from continuous to discrete, discrete to digital, digital to analog or continuous is very simple. So what I say now, we focus, we forget everything, and for major part of the semester now, everything will be contained in studying this box, which is in itself too vast thing to discuss, that it is also having too much imaginative potential. So what is a system? A system is Xn and output is Yn, and there has to be some relation between Xn and Y. Now, so what this system is, and that system is described by what I said in the previous lecture. We will establish them, and I will explain it very appropriately with different types and all these such things. So prior to that, there can be some funny systems. Suppose if there is a examination, questions are asked in the examination. There are few students, what do? irrespective of what question is asked, they write something else. This is a random system where there is no relation of output and input. Whatever may be the input, output may be completely random. No relationship between input and output system. Extreme example. Now, there are two approaches with which one should proceed. Some people believe in telling normal things first and then eccentricities. But there is an alternative method where eccentricities are told first and then we come to normality. We are in the second approach. Then you might have also seen some students. What do? They come for the examination. I am talking of conventional examination. Put name, roll number, everything on the answer sheet. Have margins very nicely. Question paper comes. They have not prepared at all and they give the answer back. So it is zero system. Wine is zero. First, wine is random. Second, wine is zero. And third, you might have also seen some of your friends in your schools like that. What do? They come for the examination. They put their name, roll, everything. Then question paper is available to them. They write down the question in the answer book and they write answer and they again write the same question. So it is wine equal to xn. Just again meaningless system. Question is equal to answer. So random system, zero system and xn equal unitary system. Now, what actual system is? Something beyond all these three simple things. So, what is system? In general, listen very carefully now. Input samples are coming, they enter the system and output samples come. Xn is continuous, means continuous in the sense the samples are coming throughout. Each time after say 1 millisecond sample will come and after 1 millisecond sample will be at the output. So x0, x0, x1, x2, x3 till infinite, y0, y1, y2, y3 till infinite. Then what should be the relationship? And then the example of convolution which I explained describes entire system, and that is what for a meaningful system. What is Yn? So Yn is weighted sum. Listen very carefully. In this n means this entire subject signals and systems, and next subject in the third year first semester digital signal processing. Both of these subjects revolve around this equation. What is output of a system? Output of a system is weighted sum of current and previous inputs. Weighted sum of current and previous inputs. That is necessary and sufficient description of a system. Now, what is a system? The weights the system. The weights themselves is the system. So I will write again. What is y? Y is equal to something. This we say H0 into current input Xn plus some other thing H1 into previous input Xn minus 1 plus some other thing H2 into previous input Xn minus 2. So in general, and that chain can go infinitely. So this we have expressed with a formula. Yn is equal to summation k equal to 0 to infinity h of k x of n minus k. So once we process this equation equation, once we process this equation, we will find that it will give us various ways to analyze the system. So what is system now? HK is a system. So Xn input, HK, you can also call Hn, because when you put in the bracket, that index is there, and Y. So Xn, so what is important that is not there in continuous system is, what is input? Input is a sequence, Xn. What is output? Output is a sequence. And what is system? System is also a sequence. In case of continuous thing, what is input? Input is a function. What is output? Is also a function, xt, yt. And how these are related? These are related by the transfer function ht. That understanding transfer function ht is not so easy. Here understanding transfer function hk, or hk you can use, or hn also you can use, that is not so important, because even if you put n here, when it is coming, both variables are coming, you need to change one variable by other than n. But if that is confusing to you, then there is no harm, you can say hk. But remember that index k or index n doesn't matter, it is a sequence. So what is a system? In discrete time systems, system is a sequence. Input is a sequence, output is a sequence, and system is a sequence. And then how output is related to input? The output is nothing but a sum of input sequence multiplied by weight sequence in a peculiar manner, right? So convolution is mixing in a given specified manner. It's very composite mixing. So output is weighted sum of current and previous inputs. Output is weighted sum of current and previous inputs, and the sequence which determines the weights is the system function or transfer function. What is HK? HK is the weight with which, or proportion with which, the input sample received k samples ago is contributing in the current output. HK is the weight of the input received k samples ago in determining current output. So I will explain to you. See, this is say something which is very easy on right on the whiteboard is simple, but at student stage its understanding, it's not so easy. You may remember it, you may get good marks in exam, but that is not our motto. So output depends on weighted sum of current and previous inputs. Now, is it necessary that all previous inputs be contributing? Maybe, may not be. So this I can say up to m, where m can be finite or m can be infinite. Then I will take an interesting example, xn, and I write 1, I start from n equal to 0, n equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and this can be 3, 2, 4, 1, 5, 4, 6, 5, 3. Again, remember xn can be two-dimensional. Means xn need not be real, it can be 3 plus, xn can be a position also, 3 plus 2z, like that, but right now we are not considering, so this is xn. Now, what is simple system what I can take? Simple system what I can, the most simple system which I can take is average of current and previous sample. So what is my system? My system Yn is half xn plus half xn minus 1. And in that case then we need to plot what will be y. Now it's a very simple question. Anybody can write the answer. You may be saying that it is not even, it is middle school scholarship, not high school. It's a middle school scholarship level question. Only one worry is there. What would be x, y, n? For every n, you can find this answer. So what would be y0? Y0 is half x0 plus half x of minus 1. And you have started signal from this. So if you start the sequence from n equal to 0, just consider the previous samples as zeros. So samples you don't have, you consider them as zeros. So in that case, what is Yn? Yn is the average of 3 and 1, 3 and 0, 1.5. What is this? This is 2.5. What is this? It is 3. What is this? It is 1 and 4, 2.5. What is this? It is 3. It is, I think it's very simple. I am just what is this? Right. So what is Yn? Yn is average of current and previous samples. So this is what actual system is. This is what actual system is. It can be current average of current and previous sample. It can be average of current, previous and previous to previous sample. Or it can be weighted average. So another example what you can have, just I'm giving these examples because you should find that this is something which is in your understanding domain, not just abstract mathematical calculations. I can take another example of y is equal to half xn. Just one simple example, or y is equal to 0.5 xn. I rub this out now. Y is equal to 0.5 xn plus 0.3 x of n minus 1 plus 0.2 x of n minus 2. So what this would be then? This one, y is equal to, for this, it is 1.5, it is 1 and 0.9, it is 2, half of this and half of sum of this, half of average of this. So it is, if I want to calculate what would be y2, y2 would be 0.5 x2 plus 0.3, not average, x1 plus 0.2 x0. What was y0? Y0 was 0.5x. Y0 was 0.5 x0 because others were 0. So this was half of this. What this was? This one y1 was 0.5 x1, that is 1, and that is 1, and 0.3 x0, that is 1.9. What is this? This would be 2 plus 0.3 into this is 0.6 plus 0.2 into this is 0.6. So it is 3.2. What is this? 0.5 plus 1.2 plus 0.6, 1.8 is 2.3. So by this way, this is just a very simple example I have given to indicate you how output is found out by a input samples. They generate output samples depending upon weighted sum. Here we have taken a finite sum, means only current and few previous inputs are responsible. Whereas if it is current and all previous inputs, then you suppose how will you write that formula? You can't write the formula because that will be infinite formula. Infinite samples are required in the system. So if you can't express that, so we express this yn equal to 0.5 xn plus 0.3 xn minus 1 plus 0.2 xn minus 2 plus something xn minus 3 plus something xn minus 4. If there's something, you can't finish writing the formula because all the 0.5, 0.3, 0.2 are not related to each other. Therefore, if we want yn is equal to summation hk x of n minus k, where k is equal to from 0, it can be up to m, and if m is finite, you can express hk's actually by their values. But if k is infinite, then infinite numbers you can't specify by values, because if you want to specify, your life would be over in writing those values. Are you getting me? If h0, h1, h2, h3, h4, h5, h6, h7 till h infinity you have to write, then you can't do anything else. Your life would be over in writing the values. Therefore, if m is infinite, then hk can be expressed by some formula. And one such formula is hk is equal to half raised to k. So in that case, what will be yn? Yn is another interesting example, equal to 0 to infinity half raised to k x of n minus k. So what is yn? Yn can be then expressed as yn is equal to half xn plus 1/4, sorry, not half, at k equal to 0 it is 1, xn plus half xn minus 1 plus 1/4 xn minus 2 plus 1/8 xn minus 3 plus 1/16 xn minus 4 and so forth. This is called as infinite system. In the y out, so I conclude today's session by output is a convolution sum of inputs. It can be convolution of some containing finite number of samples, current and previous, or it can be containing infinite number of samples. This is very interesting. In the next lecture, we will allow our whole thing, for you will find that just in the previous semester, each time I was drawing this, and you may be saying that it was too much boring for us. Like in this semester, each time I will mention this and discuss on various aspects of it. I think for today it's enough.